Hello children, how are you all? Hope you're all good and staying fit. God bless you all. Now I'm going to sing a song for you. You just listen. I'll sing this in Tamil so that you can find it out, I think so. தூய்மை தன இதயம் தனில் தந்த இறையே துவங்கும் ஒளிதனையே எமக்கென்றும் அருள்வாய் தூய்மை தன இதயம் தனில் தந்த இறையே துவங்கும் தனை ஒளியை எமக்கென்றும் அருள்வாய். I think now you'd have guessed. Yes, come on. I can hear some whispering sounds. Yes, you're right. This is the song of Junior Red Cross. You might have heard this in school. During assemblies, we might have heard this often. I look a little bit odd, I think so. See, I wear a scarf and a ogle too. And this belongs to Junior Red Cross. We call as JRC. I feel very proud in wearing this one. So, what is Junior Red Cross? Actually, I want to give a short intro of this one before entering into the drama which we are going to see now. Junior Red Cross has come from Red Cross Society. The founder of the Red Cross Society is Sir Henry Dunant. He belongs to Switzerland. Red Cross Society is nothing but it is a voluntary humanitarian organization to protect human life and health based in India. In the time of crisis, say a war or flood, famine, and even some pandemic situation, we stand first to help the people of our country. The society's mission is providing relief in times of disasters, emergencies, and promoting health and hygiene to all the people. And also, I feel very proud to say that it has a network of 700 branches throughout our country. It has a close associate of St. John's Ambulance Club. If you are not in Junior Red Cross, go to school and do join this one. Not only Red Cross, there are many social welfare clubs out there in our school, as we know, Junior Red Cross and Scouts and Guides and Echo clubs, Red Ribbon Club and whatnot. Many are there. So do join in any one of these and serve our better country. Dear children, now we are going to see Unit 3 drama, The Old Man River, written by Dorothy Deming. Actually, if you look upon the fact, the Old Man River refers to the river Mississippi. There are two famous rivers in North America. One is Mississippi and another one is Missouri. So, this Old Man River refers to river Mississippi. Do you know how it has got its name? Because when it flows along its countryside, it gives the shape of an old man. So, it is named so. The facts are telling like that. Old Man River, done by Dorothy Deming. The competencies which we are going to see here, number 1, understands and elicits meanings of the words in different contexts and by using dictionary, thesaurus and digital facilities. Number 2, exhibits in action and practice the value of honesty, cooperation, patriotism and while speaking and writing on varieties of topics. Number 3, organizes and structures thoughts, presents information and opinion in variety of oral and written forms for different audience and purposes. Number 4, reads with comprehension the given text or materials, employing strategies like skimming, predicting, previewing, reviewing and interfering. And the final one, reads literary texts for enjoyment or pleasure we can say, and compares, interprets and appreciates characters, themes, plots and incidents and gives opinion. What is meant by the term natural disaster? Of course, our country has come across several natural disasters you might have seen in televisions and all. Can you say any one or two natural disasters? Yes. Now, we can say the first one, I can say flood. Flood. It affects the whole part of the country. Even recently, our country has been in part of North India has been flooded. So, flood we can say. And next one, famine, opposite to flood. Complete drought will be there, that one. And the major one is earthquake. Earthquake we can say. So if it hits with a very big magnitude, that's all. It will bring a very massive destruction to the country. And also volcanic eruption. Luckily, we must thank God, we don't have any active volcanoes in our country. I think so. And next one, tsunami. We might have heard of this term, tsunami. Actually, it is a Japanese word, tsunami. So these are all the natural disasters. Like this, in this lesson, we are going to see a disaster, flood, and a boy called Jim Hall. Actually, he is a member of JRC and he actively participated in disaster management committee. It's a very excellent team also, rendering service to the nation. So how he rescues the children and the home from the crisis, that's what we are going to see. And the characters, what we are going to see here is Amy Marshall. She is 17 years old girl. Betty Marshall, Amy's younger sister. Then Rose Field, 16 years old, the Marshall's neighbor. She is one of the neighbors of Marshall, the Marshalls. Sarah Field, 9 years old, small girl, and she is the sister of Rose. And Jim Hall, 17 years old, another neighbor. I said just before Jim Hall. He is a member of JRC, Junior Red Cross. Now, we go into scene 1. Scene 1 opens on a late afternoon in March at Amy's house. We know during rainy season, it will be very gloomy, dark everywhere and very chill everywhere too. So the scene opens in this situation. There is a continuous rain for 3 days. Rain is pouring like cats and dogs. I think you might have heard of the word cats and dogs. This phrase refers to heavy rain, thundering storm, we used to say, that is called cats and dogs. It rains heavily, so that we can say it rains cats and dogs. So there is a continuous rain for 3 days. And in this situation, Amy's house is on the line of the Old Man River, that is on the line of the Mississippi River. Amy's house is on the line of the Old Man River. It's their fortune, we can say. Now, Amy, Betty and Rose are sitting around the living room table. Amy, Betty and Rose are sitting and knitting something around the living room table. It has become complete dark, so they are a little bit startled. Now, Jim, who served on the Junior Red Cross Emergency Squad, comes to Amy's house to inform about the cloudburst. Here is also a very good phrase, a new phrase to you, dear children. Cloudburst also refers to thundering storm and heavy rain, just like cats and dogs. So Jim enters now. He has served on the Junior Red Cross Emergency Squad, comes to Amy's house to inform about the cloudburst. The river is rising fast to the expectation, and also there is an old dam called the Brunette Dam. Brunette Dam was also built across the river. The Brunette Dam gives its way in the sense, aduvum thanniye thirandu vitruchu, because it was very weak. It could not hold water anymore because there is a continuous rain for 3 days. So it also gives its way. So the situation is very difficult, and the radio announces that the river is above flood stage. So it has to be the time, a very crucial time for them. The radio announces the river is above the flood stage. And also, unfortunately, Amy's parents are not in home. That is the big problem for them. So, no elder people is there. Amy's parents are not in home. So, what they are going to do? It's a very, the situation itself is a very pathetic one, Yes. Now, Jim, with his experience in JRC, as JRC students gets trained in many difficult situations, facing the crisis with a smiling face, Jim, with his experience in JRC, organizes the girls perfectly. Now he has started organizing. So instead of just swimming over and feeling sad about this issue, we have to do the next thing. So Jim perfectly organizes the girls now. Amy's mother calls Amy over the phone. Amy's mother is in a somewhat distant place, but she calls over the phone that the bridges between the town and her place. So the bridges between the town and her place is perfectly underwater. So she cannot reach her home. So she asks all of them to be very careful. Now, Jim wants all the children to take precautions as the river is rising. Just think it over. If we were there, what we would have done? So here, acting smartly is the main thing we have to do. So Jim, being practiced as a JRC commander, Jim wants all the children to take precautions as the river is rising. So what are the precautions we would take? Suppose if it gets a power cut off suddenly in our house, what will we do? We'll search for candles, and also we will keep our match boxes with us, isn't it? So we'll close all the windows, we'll take up all the dry clothes and put it in shelter. So these are the precautions we will do usually. So here also, Jim wants all the children to take precautions as the river is rising very fast. So they have started doing something. They collect candles and a flashlight. What is meant by flashlight? It's a beautiful term. Flashlight is nothing but a torchlight, we can say. They collect candles and flashlight. Now, the telephone is now dead because of a devastating flood. It's perfectly dead. So they cannot connect their mother hereafter. Jim asks them to fill the tubs and pails with water. So they have started collecting water also, because they have to stay in their home for at least some 3 or 4 more days without any help. So they need water, food and shelter. These are the basic needs of man as we have studied in our lower classes. What are the basic needs of man? Food, clothing and shelter. So they have to preserve all these things. So Jim asked them to fill the tubs and pails with water. Pail na bucket. Bucket nu solluva illengla adha. Now the river has creeped up to the door. The river has started rising. Since they are on the line of the river, it has touched the door. The river water has touched the door as an unwelcomed stranger. Now, Jim takes his next plan. Jim has now decided to climb into the attic. Attic அப்படின்னா நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவோம் பரணைன்னு சொல்லுவோம். அதுக்கு மேலே போனாக்கா நம்ம we can see the மொட்டை மாடின்னு சொல்லுவீங்களா, அங்கே போயிடுவோம் நம்ம. So Jim has decided to climb the attic onto the roof. Roofக்கு போகணும்னாக்கா attic மேலே ஏறி தான் போகணும். Because he wants to signal someone for help. Actually we used to do, to signal, to get help from others. So Jim, being a JRZ boy, he wants to get the attraction of some other people. He expects rain to stop, but rain is very furious and it's showing its own way. He tells the children, the girls, that they'll signal for help from the roof. So if we go to the roof, we can signal others with the help of a flashlight. If you show a flashlight, others will see. Even in some films we might have seen, a famous film called Titanic, they used to blow some lights so that others can see from faraway places also, so that they can come for their rescue. So he tells them that they will signal to others for help from the rooftop. All of a sudden, they hear a voice. They hear a voice of a small girl. They are completely startled. It is none but Sarah, Rose's younger sister, in the playhouse porch. You know what is porch? Porch means just a veranda. Actually, she is playing in the porch without knowing the things happening. Being a very small girl, she is playing there. She is younger sister of Rose. So she is playing there. Now they all hear the sound of Sarah. Now only they notice the girl playing there in the porch. Water is also rising. The very terrible situation there. Now Jim wants Sarah not to move anywhere because water is gushing everywhere. So Jim again wants Sarah to stay there itself. He asks her not to move anywhere, to stay in that place itself. Now Jim wading in the rain water. What is meant wading? Wade அப்படின்னாக்கா தண்ணியில் நடக்கிறது. நிறைய ஒரு முட்டி வரைக்கும் தண்ணி வந்துட்டா நம்ம நடப்போம் இல்லைங்களா தண்ணியில். So we can't walk fast. We can just wade. ஸ்லோவாக நடந்து போகிறது. So Jim wades in the rain water and finally bring Sarah safe. Now all are happy. So that small girl is also rescued now. Jim tells them that the floor will be underwater by morning. So in a polite way, without threatening them, Jim cautiously warns them. What he says, that the floor will be underwater by morning if the same rain continues all the night. So they have to do something now. So what they have to do? They have to escape from that place first. They must get relief from that place first. So unexpectedly no one is there, no one is around them to help them. Only river water, all where rain and river water can be seen. So there is no other way for Jim. So he has to do something, being the only boy and also he is trained in JRC. He has to act smartly and intelligently. So what he does? Jim decides to climb the top. There is no other way. The only way is to get help from others. They have to get the attraction of others. So Jim decides to climb to the top to get help from anyone by waving the flashlight. So he climbs the attic, he stands over the rooftop, and he just shows the flashlight to ask to get help from someone. Now this is the scene 1, the curtain falls. So children, I hope this is a very pathetic situation. We could have imagined this. I'll tell just a recap of this one. There is a heavy rain on the banks of the river, Old Man River. So Amy's house is on the line of the Old Man River. Amy, Betty, Rose. All 3 are girls sitting and knitting something. Knitting in something on the living room table. So the radio announces about the flood. To their expectation, there is a dam called the Brunette Dam, which is being constructed across the river of Mississippi. That is the Old Man River. Due to its weakness, it also gives away its water. So the water is flooding, gushing. They're about to sink. There is a small hero, we can say, Jim Hall. Now he enters. With his experience in JRC, he started organizing the girls perfectly. So we too must know one thing. In the time of crisis, instead of feeling badly, instead of feeling about that, what the next thing we have to do? So perfect organizing is a must in that one. So we must learn. He organizes the girls. So he asks them to get ready with the candles, the basic needs, candle, matchbox, and also water. So he expects rains to stop, but there is no sign of stopping of the rain. So he tells that he would go to the attic and signal someone for help. Suddenly, they hear a voice. Sarah is playing in the porch, veranda we can say, without knowing what is happening around. So she is playing merrily. So Jim wants her not to go anywhere. He slowly wades into the water. Wading na yarpili solra illengla nadந்து போகுது மெதுவா நடந்து போய். Now he helps Sarah and he brings Sarah to a safe place also. Now what the next thing they have to do? They feel very happy about Jim. So what the next thing they have to do? All they have to do is now they have to climb the attic. So taking their food, water, and pail, everything. Now they are climbing to the attic. Now they stay there, and now Jim climbs to the rooftop. The only thing what he can do now is he has flashlight in his hand. So he does something intelligently. He climbs over the rooftop. Now he is top of the house. He just waving the flashlight so that he could get help from anyone. So this is the first scene, children. Now we go to some of the activities. Yes, dear children, I hope you have understood the first scene. Now we'll look into some textbook glossary. The perfect words. First one is stamping. Stamping. What is meant by stamping? Stamping is nothing but bringing down our legs heavily onto the ground. So if you're stamping the feet, we can say. So bringing down our feet heavily onto the ground is called stamping. Next, cloudburst. Cloudburst, as I told you already, cloudburst is nothing but heavy thundering storm. A sudden violent storm is called as cloudburst. Next one is shudder. What is shudder? Shudder, it is nothing but shivering. Shivering, we can say jittering. Nadungarun solluvalengla, due to fear. So all these girls shudder very much because of this cloudburst. Nadungarun, if sudden any danger happens to us, we too will shudder. We too will jitter. Namlu konjam oru mari nadunguvalengla, that is called shudder. And next we come to the next part. Choose the correct answer and fill in the blanks. So we have to choose the right answer for this one. Hope you have understood the first scene clearly. Now we can answer this very easily, I hope. The first question to you, dear children. The radio announced that dash. I'll give you 3 options to you. You have to find it out. Option A, the river was above the flood stage. B, there will be a cloud burst. And C, there will be a cyclone. Cyclone means puyal. There will be a cyclone. So what is the answer for this one? The answer is, the radio announced that the river was above the flood stage. We too used to get announcement from in our TVs, you know, people have to vacate from low-lying area or something like that. நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவோம் இல்லைங்களா, நம்மளுடைய வானிலை ஆராய்ச்சின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லைங்களா, like that. On those days, radios used to announce the climatic conditions. So the radio announced that the river was above the flood stage. And question number 2, mother couldn't get home from her place because. Mother couldn't get home from her place because. Why mother couldn't get home? I'll give you 3 options to you. If you have listened to the class correctly, you might have answered this one. Option A, it is raining heavily. Option B, the bridge is under water. Option C, she has broken her leg. Why mother couldn't get home from her place? And the right answer is option B, the bridge is under the water. If she wants to reach home, she has to travel in the bridge. Since the bridge is under the water, she can't get home now. And the third question to you, the Brunette Dam gave way. Why? 3 options again for you. Option 1, it rained for days. Option 2, the maintenance was poor. Option 3, the dam was weak. Option A, it rained for days. Option B, the maintenance was very poor. And option C, the dam was weak. The right answer is option C, the dam was weak. Yes, children, I think you all have answered very well, I hope so. And very good, children. Hope you have answered this. And next, I am going to read a passage for you. You listen to the passage and you have to answer the questions that follow. If you listen to the passage carefully, you can answer the questions that follow. It improves your listening skill for sure. Yes, are you ready? Shall I read for you now? Yes. Scaling heights. The topic given to this passage is scaling heights. Listen carefully, dear children. Mountain climbing is a thrilling adventure. It brings into the play the heroic qualities of humankind. Mountaineers deserve all praise for their courage and heroism. In recent years, Mount Everest has been scaled several times by foreign climbers, many foreign climbers. India too has organized several expeditions to Everest. Lately, an Indian Sherpa scaled the Everest without the use of oxygen. It is a big task, you know. Without the help of oxygen, scaling Mount Everest is a very difficult topic. Lately, an Indian Sherpa scaled the Everest without the use of oxygen. Mrs. Bachendri Pal also succeeded in scaling the Everest. She is the first Indian woman to do it. Can we give a clap to Bachendri Pal? Yes. I'll read for you again. The topic I given to this passage is scaling heights. Mountain climbing is a thrilling adventure. It brings into the play the heroic qualities of humankind. Mountaineers deserve all praise for their courage and heroism. In recent years, Mount Everest has been scaled several times by foreign climbers. India too has organized several expeditions to Everest. Lately, an Indian Sherpa scaled the Everest without the use of oxygen. Mrs. Bachendri Pal also succeeded in scaling the Everest. She is the first Indian woman to do it. Now I'll come to the questions now. I'm going to throw questions over you. Now you have to throw me back the answers, correct answers. Yes? Yes, now the first question for you. What qualities of humankind are brought out by this adventurous sport? Yes? Any guess? Yes, you are right. I think I know all are murmuring the answer. I'll read out the answer. Heroic qualities are brought out by the adventures of climbing. The quality here embedded is heroism. It is a great task, you know, it really is a big adventure. Climbing, scaling a Mount Everest is a very difficult task. So heroic qualities are brought to you by the adventures of climbing. The next question to you. Why do mountaineers deserve praise? Why do mountaineers deserve praise? Deserve அப்படின்னா அவங்களுக்கு எதுக்காக நம்ம அவங்களை புகழணும்? Mountaineersனா மலை ஏறுறோம். எதுக்காக புகழணும்? Have you climbed at least a small hill nearby your house? ஒரு சின்ன குன்று ஏறி இருக்கீங்களா நீங்க? Will start breathing heavily, isn't it? So sighing will start automatically. So climbing the Mount Everest, that too if you go to the top of the Mount Everest, will suffer without oxygen. So it is a big task, you know, it's a very challenging task. So we have to say sabash to them. So why do mountaineers deserve praise? Yes, answer from you? Yes, you are right. Mountaineers deserve praise for their courage and heroism. Mountaineers deserve praise for the courage and heroism. We must need a sort of courage also to climb over Mount Everest. The third question for you. What kind of visitors do Mount Everest get? What kind of visitors do Mount Everest get? Usually, what kind of visitors do Mount Everest get? Mount Everest gets usually foreign climbers. Usually, Mount Everest gets foreign climbers. A part of Indian climbers fear to climb Mount Everest because they think that it would end in fatality. So, Mount Everest gets usually foreign climbers. Now, a question to you. Listen carefully the question and answer. Do you come across any new word in this passage? Do you come across any new word in this passage? If so, give out the meaning of the word. Yes? Any new word? Any new word you have come across this passage? For me, the new word, I'll say the new word which I have come across in this passage is Sherpa. The spelling of Sherpa is S-H-E-R-P-A. It is a new word, isn't it? Sherpa. Who is Sherpa? Sherpa is a member of a Himalayan people. Those who are dwelling in and around Himalayas. Himalayan people who lives on the border of Tibet and Nepal particularly. People who are dwelling have their residence on the borders of Nepal and Tibet are called as Sherpas. Bring out the significance of Mrs. Bachendri Pal. Bachendri Pal has done something marvelous. What is it? The significance, the importance of Bachendri Pal here in this passage. What she has done, yes, you're right. Mrs. Bachendri Pal is the first Indian woman to scale the Mount Everest. It's a big thing, isn't it? Mrs. Bachendri Pal is the first Indian woman to scale the Mount Everest. So, children, I hope you all have enjoyed this session. So, this is the first scene. We can see how Jim has recovered all the girls and also activities you have seen nicely. So, these are all the things we can see in the scene 1. Now, what we have to do? If you are not in any of the social welfare clubs, do join in any one of the social welfare clubs and serve the nation eminently. And thank you for joining with me. Thank you. Let us see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.